brand new banger.
Knucklehead Comics Tuesday is fucking Tuesday. We got Lay in the building. We got Cap in the building. Cabs can't make it tonight, but he's here in spirit. On Lay.
My man, just chilling, brother, chilling.
What's up, Cap? How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Is that and the father goes shamefully? That's my son. And the other guy goes shamefully. Orion goes, that's my father. Choose fear and hate to run your life. Something you can't do. That was wrong with me from the beginning. I was doing it that way. I was gonna go down that path. I worried.
You thought it was Grayson?
Sorry, got hurt. Not him. Not him.
Crack his brain for somebody, anybody that can help, and remembers. Freeze.
The media.
Randall Savage.
Randall Savage. With his knowledge and all other shit and his capacity to learn.
Absolutely.
This is the only vegan I'll ever eat is grilled chicken wings, because that's like vegan to me. You know what I'm saying? Because the chicken wings are supposed to be fried, but you grill the chicken wings, you put it in some sauce, and give it some blue cheese.
Is vegan.
That's vegan. Like regular moo cow fuck milk, put it in some Honey Nut Cheerios, vegan, because Honey Nut Cheerios is good for your heart. You know what I'm saying? Can I steal the question from Cabs?
I got it right. Look at this.
I would also like to steal. I would also like to steal. I would also like to steal.
You're too late.
Wow.
I stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, if it's right. And I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. Yeah, they know I'm a pro. Let's go, let's go! Yeah! Let's go! Here I go, I get lit, I get hyped for this shit! Right.
Word. He be like, I got a left elbow and a right elbow. I can break your face with an any elbow. Make sure that you get elbowed in your elbow with an elbow. Got the arm ball, get the phone ball, get around with the bomb with the bomb ball.
Daddy's gonna take you to Jersey Shore.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is fucking Tuesday night. You know what that means? Knucklehead Comics. We in the building. What's going on, Cap?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Little under the weather. But it's all right, though. The weather's always been in the sky, so we always been underneath that shit.
Yeah.
Can't hold me down. Oh, no. I got to keep on moving. That's what they say. So I told you that we won't stop.
Well, yeah, that's what they say, and that last one is no longer in use. It has been recalled.
What's going on, Mr. Loki? What you say, Cap?
I said it turned out he will be stopped.
Yeah, he better be. Yeah.
So what's on the agenda for tonight's episode?
So tonight we're gonna have our first versus Rhino from the Marvel universe versus Baine from the DC universe.
Are we talking like straight comics, or are we talking about depictions in anime and movies as well?
Whatever's clever. Let's just have an all-out brawl here. But yeah, before we get to that, do you have any news or any updates that you want to say or anything like that?
I do not. Give me one second. Let me check. I haven't been privy to any news. There's a new 4v4 tag team Marvel fighting game that's in the works.
A new Marvel tag team fighting game?
Yeah, so you know how like in Capcom versus Marvel, you pick 3 characters
Yeah.
and you battle out. This is a 4v4. It's a brand new studio that's making it. Everybody seems to be hype about it. I forgot what it's called.
And it sounds like Marvel versus Capcom.
It's something like that, but I think this is just all Marvel characters.
Okay. That's dope though. Yeah. Speaking of characters,
Good.
so the director of Nightwing said that they would cast a wide net to find the perfect lead to play Nightwing. So, as the internet does, somebody posted on that post. They commented saying if they cast a wide net for his parents, we wouldn't be in this situation now, would we?
See, that's somebody. No, you've seen me watch this show on YouTube, right? Where he reads a statement and wrong with it.
Yeah.
Let me put the nerd glasses up. Actually, the net was wide enough. It's a mobster cut the net, so when they landed in it, it collapsed. So,
Bitch.
yeah, they just need a net made of sturdier material that can't simply just be cut.
Word.
But that begs the question: who would you like to see play Nightwing? And more importantly, do you want it to be woke where it's somebody who's not a white guy?
Shit. No, I want it. Give me the fucking actual character. Don't give me this bullshit. Give me the actual character. And then, let's fucking do that shit. Because it makes no sense to give us a Nightwing that no one knows. Like, you're going to change his background. You're going to change the way he acts. Because there's a different swagger when it comes to him. And, I don't give a shit what you say. You put a Spanish person in a white person's neighborhood, they ain't gonna be the same person. They're gonna be different. It's gonna throw the whole dynamics off the shit. And they already did this shit with Baine, and everybody fucking throws that Baine under the bus. You might as well just give us the fucking right one. And there's other characters.
What if you get a Spanish person like me?
That's fine.
Like, if I don't know if he could speak English or not, but you remember on Amazon, we were watching that Zorro show.
Yeah,
that dude would be fucking perfect.
That's fine, but I'm saying the character himself has to be, the original. Don't give me none of that shit. Because they don't live in the same world we're living in. They live in Gotham. They got other problems. They're not, I don't want no fucking, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on us type shit. You live in Gotham. You don't live in New York. You don't live in America. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let that fantasy still be there. Now, if you had a character that did that, then yeah, throw in that character if you want that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I would say with the original origin. Now, who would I get to play him?
Yeah.
Shit.
Right.
That's a fucking. That's a problem. I don't think this kid is big enough, but the kid from Cobra Kai, Tommy's son.
Wait, the dude who was in love with Daniel's daughter and then moved on to the other blonde chick? Am I getting that right? Or?
Yeah. Not the Blue Beetle, the other one.
Yeah, I know
blonde,
it's not.
Yeah, the blonde haired one. No, because they both moved on from the Lou Russo's daughter.
Oh, didn't know that.
Blue Beetle went back to her.
Yeah, I don't know if he is. I see him more maybe as Tim Drake.
I can see that. I'm trying to find somebody who.
While you look that up, there was a comment you made that you wanted, give us the guy on the page. Don't deviate. All right, Rob, what was it exactly that you said? Because I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Give me the character they made. Don't give me no bullshit.
So, with that statement, it is here's some news if we haven't mentioned this already, but Henry Cavill is creating an entire Warhammer 40K universe for Amazon streaming. Right? And it's delayed because he has said that it is harder than he thought to adapt the material in the most faithful way he wants to. He's finding it super difficult to stay within the boundaries or to translate what he loves so much about Warhammer 40K to film and to making a show about it. On another side, I talk about Critical Role all the time. They're doing an animated show based on their second season, their second campaign. And even they say that as they were writing it and going over it, they felt that they couldn't just do a one-for-one, here's how it happened in the show, here's how we put it in animation. And they're changing quite a bit. And they're hoping that fans will, be along for the ride. But even they sit there like, yo, a one-for-one is not what they wanted to do, because as they were writing it, they saw opportunities for new ideas and other shit to come in to make it so that audiences who don't know them, can come in and jump in and watch these characters. Audience who do know them, they have something to watch that's not just a repeat of shit they already know.
Is Warhammer like D&D?
Warhammer is more like chess, where you have your
What up, Show?
Hey, this time he jumped in and I'm not in the middle of some fucking monologue.
Right?
Bullshit, I just heard you talking.
No, talking is different than monologuing. So Warhammer 40K is essentially you get an army of minifigures, all different types of characters. They all come with their own powers and rules and all this shit. And then you go up against somebody else's army, and you have essentially a battle. But it is super technical to where they're like, yo, you need line of sight in order to use this range attack. And you literally have to get a ruler to measure the distance to make sure that you're in range. And if the ruler hits anything in the path of you and your target, it is deemed you don't have line of sight, so you can't hit him. Even if the tree's here and the figure's here, they're like, oh, he's got some sort of cover, so it's going to be more difficult to hit. So, like, it's more of a number crunching strategic game than D&D is.
But is it still like D&D where you make your own story? Like you're sitting there, this is what you do, and you get your own decision.
No, it's more like Hero Quest. Is it HeroScape. You remember that game we played with Kay? Where we build the map, you take, hey, I get these cards, these figures, and we just fight.
Yeah.
It's more aligned to that. But unlike HeroScape, Warhammer has a fuck ton of lore and shit. So, like, you've seen that video where Henry Cavill was talking about it, and he's like, "Oh, my army's custodies," and the other dude said he had some other shit he was working on. Each one of the armies and all that, they have their own backstory, their own lore, their own shit behind them, to the point where if you were going into competition, so if you actually went and played this like competition league to what I'm best aware of, and you have like, oh, custodies, right? When you bring your minis, they have to be painted in the scheme of custodies. You can't just come up with your minis and be like, you know what? I like this, this dude I like for blue. I painted that one purple. Like, no, they all gotta be pristine in the color scheme and tone set that the army has in their lore.
So you telling me that he couldn't make a fucking movie that had those parameters and just went with it? Just did one of those stories that he did and just spice things up a little bit. Like I'm telling you, we don't need something where we're playing D&D and exactly everything that happens. Where fucking you got a movie of me and Show doing that shit where we're in a haunted house, and next thing you know, you got me telling Show, if you move over here, you could do this, this, and this. It's just the fucking got to take some kind of liberty. Like if you wanted to do 100% of the game, then you're a fucking idiot. But if you use the game to make a story and not change the shit, then that makes fucking sense. Because what are you trying to do? You're trying to show the game in the thing.
Yeah.
So like if you're fucking like Dungeons and Dragons, you saw when they rolled the 20, but they didn't have a physical fucking die on the side showing you what they rolled. They just you just saw it if you're into the shit. If you wasn't, you just lived in the fucking world.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can find the actual quotes that he has, but he was the one saying that there's problems translating it over. It might have something to do with not being able to capture the essence. So, like with D&D, it's so easy to capture the mechanics and the essence of the game, because in that one means you fail ridiculously, right? But also, if you miss a punch, you failed that attack roll. If you land a punch, you landed that attack roll. If you did something fucking amazing, that was a critical success. Or in that 20, like, it's very easy to assign the little intricacies to what they did in the movie, where I think I got to read the quotes, but I think he's having trouble translating the intricacies. Even though there has been countless Warhammer video games that, to my knowledge, have been very successful and critically acclaimed. There's been countless animated movies that they've done for Warhammer. So, I mean, maybe it's something in live action you can't. He's struggling with. Like we just saw the Hunter, what was it, Predator, Hunter Killer or whatever.
Killer of Killers.
Killer of Killers.
Yeah.
I don't think that movie works in live action. Like if you take the same script and put that in live action, I don't think it worked. I think animation was the perfect form for telling that story.
Because animation allows you to fucking cut through the bullshit. Animation, you get to fucking see the story unfold while it's happening. In real life, you don't get to see those little things because everything's so fast, or you're blurred here, you're there. You don't get to see those little like the fucking emotion and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because in animation, you're drawn in, you're watching everything. Everything says something. In real life, you need an explanation because people are stupid. They need you to fucking say what's happening instead of for going, oh, this guy looked like he didn't want to fight his brother. And then when they had to work together, it's like, oh, okay. They had to work together because they realized that this motherfucker's too goddamn strong for one of them to beat him. But in live action, you would have to say that. You would have to pause the fucking show, look at the camera, and be like, okay, so now we're gonna work together because this predator is too hard for us to fight.
Yeah, I mean, so this is something that I'm going to be curious about watching Predator Badlands. I don't know if you guys seen Killer of Killers. It probably in my mind, it very well goes the original Predator, Prey, Killer of Killers, Predators, then Predator 2 and all the other bullshit that followed. So I think it's the third best of all the movies so far. But the second story with the samurai ninja, barely any words are said in that entire segment. Do you think you can do that in a live action and have it be effective?
I mean, the Raid. Barely any words are said in that shit. I can't find
True,
this.
but the Raid, well, what were you looking for?
This fucking karate dude he was young. He went to the UFC. He lost, and then he went to one fighting championship. He lost again, and then he fought in MLW or whatever, Major League Fighting. He was a ESPN karate like show
Analyst.
No, he was a young kid that was like jumping up and kicking boards on ESPN. He was one of those motherfuckers, and then he transitioned into fighting.
Was it the blonde kid?
Yeah.
I wanted to say his name something like Cabe, some white shit.
Yeah. Yo, Loki, I know you know that motherfucker.
I know who you're talking about too, but I'm trying to look up the quotes right now.
So, show, ain't you supposed to be an MMA fucking savant?
Wait, who? My bad. I was trying to think of something funny with savant. I'm too tired.
I hate you.
I usually come up with something stupid. I'm Rico Suave. Anyways, what's up, brother?
You remember that young kid that was in the ESPN karate shit, and then he went to UFC. He won like 2 fights, and he got his ass kicked when they put him in a rank shit. And then he went to one fighting championship, and he got his ass kicked over there.
He used to work for ESPN?
He used to what?
He used to work for ESPN?
He used to, when ESPN did the karate competitions. But, when you have to jump up high and kick the boards and fucking do the weapons and all that shit.
Gotcha. Nah, I don't remember who that was.
Well, that motherfucker I would put as Nightwing. But I don't know. He probably can't act.
Probably not. And that dude from Never Back Down is probably too old now.
Yeah, probably.
The bad guy?
Yeah, he would have been a good Nightwing. Shit. Better than Cobra Commander.
So, we call it I can't find the direct quote, but the words he used were complex and tricky. So that he's having, like I said, I guess they're trying to make it. All right, let me ask you this question. So, and did you watch the D&D movie, the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves?
No.
What are you doing here, man? No. Dude, you actually should watch it. It's a good fucking movie. All right, so this is for Toe only then.
Anyway,
So
it's funny.
when you watch the movie, what did you think about it in terms of your limited access to playing Dungeons and Dragons? Thinking of it through that lens.
I thought it was a dope movie. I thought it was like the little bit that I know. That was how can I put this? The little bit that I knew from Dungeons and Dragons. It felt like I was in a story and they gave me these characters and they kind of explained the characters, and because I'm in this story and we're on this journey, I'm able to walk this journey with them. The same way that you do in Dungeons and Dragons, where you're in the story and you're doing the journey.
All right.
So,
good.
No, I mean, like, that's pretty much.
So did you catch all the nuances, all the little things that they put in?
What up, Courtney? Not all of them, but I caught some of the shit.
Yeah. So, but my point being is that you didn't catch all the intricacies, but you still were able to enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
I think that is what Henry Cavill's having a difficult time doing, is making a Warhammer movie that people like him who play it can sit there and go, oh, I recognize that. I know that. I feel, I know what this means. I know what that represents. I know the feeling of that. Blah, blah, blah. But yet people like me and you could sit down and go, yo, this is just a dope movie, and not get lost in the minutia of walking out and going, I don't understand anything I saw up there. Like I was telling you, I was watching these people play D&D inside the setting of a video game that one of the characters has never played, right?
Yeah.
I told you, there's that scene where he went to go pick blueberries, and he's like, yo, I've been out here for an hour, and they're like, you only got 60 of them. And he's like, damn, did I not do a good job? And they're like, no, that is a good amount. And then the one of the girls was like, yo, are they gold or silver? And he was like, they're fucking blueberries, because he doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to avoid that, because as we all know, especially with the D&D movie itself, just because your core audience and the people who know the brand go to see it, don't mean that that's enough for it to be successful. Dungeons and Dragons did okay, but it wasn't successful enough because not enough people who don't play it and don't know what it is went to see it. And as we know, we can't be the only ones to see shit and expect that that it's going to be, a successful enough for Amazon to keep funding what he's doing. And if you want the proof in the pudding, I brought up Critical Role. They did 2 seasons of Vox Machina?
Yeah.
I think it's 3 seasons, right? Anyway, they did their Vox Machina show. They got brought on to do their Mighty Nine show. But because Amazon has already seen the success of Legends of Vox Machina, they got greenlit for 2 seasons of the Mighty Nine. They've already recorded their voices and the acting for both seasons, because they were able to get more than just me and critters, as they call their fan base, to watch the show.
Well, because here's the thing, though. Vex Machina feels like they're telling the story, but they're also showing their imagination with the scenes, because in real life, it's just a bunch of people talking what's happening. So now they can take liberties with the animation and the actual thing. Where it's like the scene where the homegirl was under the water and her brother was talking to this guy about, if you're gonna be my sister, whatever the fuck. In real life, you watch it and it's like, oh, that shit's dope. But then when you watch it in the cartoon and you don't know, that shit pops like, oh shit, like blah 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 blah. You get to feel that through their imagination and not just through their words. So it gets to put a picture to what they're saying. So it's kind of like Rogue One, where we all know people sacrifice themselves to get the fucking plans to the Death Star. But when we watched Rogue One, it was like, yo, that shit's dope. You know what I'm saying? Because now they can tell their interpretation of what these people sacrifice, how they sacrifice to get the shit.
You know what I would like to know? I would like, going with this conversation, I would like to talk to somebody who has never seen Star Wars before in their life, and they watch Rogue One as their first ever Star Wars movie. Because I want to know if they get the same feeling and the same sense that we do.
Test it out with me. Shit.
There you go. Show next week.
Motherfucker, you watch Star Wars?
No, I haven't watched any.
Bro, this guy hasn't watched himself. Show next week. We are going to get your thoughts on Rogue One. All you have to do is watch Rogue One.
I'll watch it Sunday.
If you fucking want, we will get together and watch the fucking shit together.
I got you.
And by we, he means you and him.
Yeah. Because I still got to do my breaks.
What there's a question here. What Jared Leto situation?
Okay, so I was gonna get to that, but in a little while, because that's one of the news. So you want me to get to it now, or you want me to get to it when we get to it?
Get to it when we get to it.
All right, it's not that far. Oh. Who's show? All right, let me mute show and then all right. So Thor 5 is reportedly in development at Marvel Studios with plans to include the next saga. With plans to include it in the next saga of the MCU. Taika Waititi is not expected to return as director. I thought Thor was gonna go away in Secret Invasion and Doomsday.
Dude, Chris Hemsworth has famously said that he's done playing Thor unless, and this is in solo movies, because he did sign up to do both Doomsday and Secret War, I believe. But he said, in regards to his own solo movies, that he's done unless they come up with an angle he hasn't done before, and they give him something new to chew into in terms of playing Thor. So the fact that Taika Waititi is not coming back, that's plus number one.
Yeah.
Let somebody else fucking come in and take it in a different direction. We've seen him in World War Hulk. We've seen him in the romantic comedy Me and My Two Hammers. Now let's see him in something a little bit more substantial.
The only Star Wars movie show ever saw was the bootleg Pornhub movie. Hey, that still counts.
Yo, Star Wars, man, that was beautiful. When Darth Vagina came out and was like, "I am your mother," I was like, "Oh no, what?"
Who would you play? Who would you get to play He-Man?
There's a bunch of who's actually playing He-Man.
Who's playing He-Man?
I gotta look up the motherfucker's name, but they're in deep production with fucking He. They're filming it now.
Motherfuckers is showing us pictures of the dude who plays Reacher, the guy from Sons of Anarchy, Henry Cavill, the guy from Smallville, your boy who does Deal or No Deal Island. Some other motherfuckers that I don't know.
This is the guy. I don't know his name yet, but this is the guy who's playing He-Man in the live-action movie, the reboot.
Fuck that. Yeah. I need my He-Man to
Nicholas Gelson team?
Yeah. All right, we're at Jared Leto now. So the issue.
Funny enough, he's also, I think he's Skeletor in this He-Man.
Yeah. The issue with Jared Leto is he was accused by 9 women of inappropriate behavior hitting on teens.
What was that last one?
Hitting on teens.
Teens.
Yeah, so apparently this motherfucker trying to diddy mo.
Shit. Well, we gotta see what unfolds coming from this these accusations, because this is the first I'm hearing of it. So if this is somewhat true, or even if it's not true, but it's gonna be a bigger fucking issue for Disney, they might just pull Tron. But I don't know how much he's in Tron, what his role is, what the fuck he's doing in it.
He said Chris Hemsworth as He-Man.
We gotta stop typecasting Chris, man. He's already played the muscle bound hero. We gotta do something else.
All right, multiple women have accused Jared Leto of inappropriately, with some calling the 53-year-old actor and musician behavior predatory, terrifying, and unacceptable. In a new report by the Air Mail on Saturday, 9 women have come forward to accuse Leto of engaging in inappropriate behavior over the years, including flirting with teenagers. Speaking to the outlet, one woman said that back in 2006, when she was 16 years old, Leto approached her outside of a cafe in Los Angeles. According to the woman, Leto, who was seated with the actor Ashley Olsen, who was then 19, grabbed her arm. I looked down and it was Jared Leto. The woman told Airmail, adding, "We had a quick conversation and he got my number." She went on to say that Jared Leto called her home a few days later, recalling, "I don't know if he was on drugs or what. It was the weirdest, grossest voice. But for me, it's Jared Leto, you know?" She said that Leto said that he was hosting a party at his house that evening and he invited her. The woman declined, telling Bell that she didn't even have a driver's license. Nevertheless, she said Leto kept calling her always at 1, 2, 3 a.m. At the conversation, and then the conversation turned sexual. He asked things like, "Have you ever had a boyfriend? Have you ever sucked dick?" She told the Airmail another woman, a model, Laura LaRue, recounted a similar experience to the outlet, saying that when she was 16 years old in 2008, she was at an event in a private residence in Beverly Hills where Leto was watching her so intensely. He asked how old I was. I said, "I'm 16. How old are you?" LaRue told Airmail. Leto, who was 36 at the time, proceeded to ask for her number. The two began an email correspondence, which eventually led to her visiting Leto's home in 2009. The outlet reports, "I remember him teasing me the whole time I was there," LaRue said, adding, "He was flirting with me, had leaned in close, then pull away like it was a game." All right, so I'm not gonna read this whole fucking thing, but
Jesus Christ. Shit,
you can't fucking. This is the thing. You got all that money and fame, and you can't find a fucking woman.
Yeah,
you got no game. That's what it is. You got no game. You can't find a fucking woman.
Yeah, tell me if I'm fucked up here. Right? Because again, you don't ever want to blame the victim of shit, right? But you're at a fucking function. He comes up to you and asks if you're 16, or at your age, you say 16. He says 36. Why the fuck you give him your number or a way to contact you? Because if you know it's wrong and weird and creepy now, you knew it back then.
Yeah. But I mean, it's grooming. You know, they probably was like, "Oh, it's Jared Leto. I'm gonna be able to chill with a movie star and all that other shit." I don't know. People are naive. Young people are naive. Look at Cassie with her shit. But
Yeah, I think
yeah,
we gotta start. You remember growing up, fucking Stranger Danger.
yeah. Or
Don't talk to fucking. We gotta start telling our youth. Do not. I don't care who the fuck they are, what the fuck they say. Do not put yourself in fucking certain situations.
or who the fuck you talking to? Jared Leto. Why? He's too fucking old for you. Where's the parents? You know, so like it's like that whole shit with the dude from Nickelodeon. The mother was like, "Oh, you know, you're trying to teach him how to act and all this other shit," but the father's like, "Nah, this nigga something wrong with him. I don't want no one near him." You know, like where's that shit?
That's another avenue we can go down as well.
You all right, show? You look pissed off.
I forgot I'm on camera. Road rage, baby.
Shit, I thought you was mad because Jared Leto's trying to fuck with a 16-year-old.
I can't be. Listen, I don't want to sound wrong, but a 16-year-old is wrong no matter what. I'm gonna keep it at that.
I mean, just think. Just think, what about you if your daughter was 16 and she's talking to 36-year-old Jared Leto?
Yo, I don't give
Oh,
a
and
shit.
what you know about?
I don't give a shit if she's talking to a 36-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone or a 36-year-old fucking Bruce Lee. I'm beating his ass.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
He should know better, but at the same time, I should have thought. Well, I should have taught my daughter better as well. At 16.
True.
Why would you want somebody 36, sis? That means you don't got a father. You're looking for a father figure.
Yeah, I mean, they see the stardom and they think, you know, they know everything. So they see his star power. They think you know, oh, this motherfucker gonna take me here and there and this and that. And they can just gonna run with the star power.
Yo, you know what's funny? Not to get too far off this topic, but it seems to me that a lot of this shit happens because everybody wants the fame, but nobody truly understands what it is to be famous.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, you see a lot of people who are like, yo, I'm just trying to live my life, man. I'm out to dinner. You know, and the fans keep coming up to me. Stop coming up. Well, motherfucker, you wanted to be up on the movie screen.
Yeah.
You wanted to be an actor. You wanted to be you got to know that the attention comes with it, right? And younger people, I guess they're so. I mean, look at us. We're on YouTube right the fuck now, right? But YouTube and TikTok and Vine. I don't know if you guys remember Vine. and all this shit came out, and people think it's so easy to just sit up on camera, say whatever the fuck you're gonna say, and then money comes in, and then fame comes in, and then life gets easier, and blah blah blah. But none of that shit matters. I think we gotta. This is a multi-pronged attack. We gotta have the parents do better, the kids do better. We gotta absolutely fucking put a stop to all these fucking weirdos that are out here. Like I don't know how the fuck that we're gonna do that part. Maybe their punishment needs to be even more severe as a fucking deterrent. But we need that prong, and the other prong we need is to stop this whole fucking everybody could be famous shit. And there's only but so much room at the top of that mountain. And for everybody who stands on that top, it only grows the bottom bigger. We gotta have people stop chasing shit that doesn't fucking matter in life.
because fame kind of goes like the World War Z, where all the zombies were climbing on top of each other to climb over the wall.
Yeah.
Is that one person and everybody's praising them, and they just keep standing on those motherfuckers that keep praising them.
And yo, to go perfectly with what you just said, how do you walk past all the zombies in World War Z? He infected himself with something that he can cure later on. Right? Because it was the disease that they all had.
Yep.
And when they saw somebody else who was diseased, they didn't bother with him. Oh, he's like us. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. That's that tribalism. That's that shit Loki was talking about in fucking the first Avengers. People want to worship.
They crave led.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fucking idiots, your boy Vitaly, the guy who Abba and Preach was talking about.
Yeah.
He was in Korea and they arrested him.
Yeah.
He's facing up to 24 years in prison in the Philippines.
Good. And I don't know why you said my boy. Like I don't even know who he is outside of that one video.
But probably show knows him. So for the Philippines, for harassing charges, including attempting to grab a security guard's firearm, threatening to rob a woman in public, vandalism, unjust vexation, burglary, theft, and more.
Yo. Now, normally I'm not a capital punishment type of guy, right? But I'm a member of the United States military, former member, right? Veteran of the military. I've lived around the world in a few places. I've been to a few places around the world. I've seen firsthand how Americans act. I've seen firsthand the reputation we have. I've seen firsthand how military acts. It is not all of us. I would say it's probably just 30% in totality. Civilians and military, right? 30%. Dumbest motherfuckers you'll ever see when they step foot overseas. These countries should start public flogging. If you're a foreigner, no matter where else you're from, if you're from somewhere else and you go to Japan, Korea, the Philippines, or even if you somewhere else and you go to somewhere in the Middle East or wherever, and you fuck with these people, all for attention, and you doing stupid shit, they should take you to the town square and blast it live. You want to reach millions of people with your fucking views? Reach millions of people, broadcast it live as they just flog the fuck out of you for however long they want. We make it a fucking WrestleMania is 2 days?
Yeah.
Let's make it a 2-day event.
What the fuck is flog?
It's essentially where they just take you out and whoop you.
Oh. I know there was one person that had that option. It was either we whip you or you go to jail. I don't know where it was, but there was one streamer that they had that option. And to me, it's like, yo, if you don't know the difference between right and wrong, and you do shit like, or you do shit like this, and you know the difference between right and wrong, you already made your choice.
Yeah.
He was lucky. No one retaliated on this motherfucker. It's like that kid in the mall where the guys like, yo, leave me the fuck alone, leave me the fuck alone. They wouldn't stop bothering him. He shot him. And he's like, yo, he told him to leave him alone, self-defense. At one point, like, what is you know that this shit is wrong. Fuck, you wanted to get shot.
Consequences, man. What the fuck happened to consequences? Everybody, all of a sudden, the belief is that consequences don't exist for their actions. They exist for the actions of others. And for anybody who dares trespass against them.
People would put away their morals, the truth, fucking societal fucking rules and everything for themselves and for fucking fame. It's crazy how there's people out here that they're more interested in their feelings than the fucking truth. You know, like they'll fucking, the truth is this, and this. No, that's not the truth. How I feel is the fucking truth. Or like how homeboys, like the pastor. It's impossible for both people to be right. The truth is either you're right and I'm wrong, or we're both wrong. It's impossible for both people to be right. Right? It's like that's, and the definition of the truth, isn't that when most people know shit? Let's look it up.
As he's looking it up, this segment is brought to you by the Toe and the Show with Ray and Gigi. Tune in Fridays and or Saturday nights for the Toe and the Show with Ray and Gigi.
Definition of the truth. Ron, the truth killings, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Nah. The truth. The quality or state of being true. That which is true or in accordance with fact or reality. The truth. A fact or belief that is accepted as true. So
I can break it down right there with that. So the definition of truth is the factual thing. This is a container that has water in it.
Yes.
Right? The other definition of truth, we call this a bottle because everybody agrees that this container is called a bottle. So that's how bottle is true. Where a container filled with water is the physical truth. Bottle is the collective truth.
And the reality is that's not a fucking lizard.
Yeah.
But people want to change the definition of facts and reality. People would change that shit to fucking make that shit a fucking balloon.
Yo, I'm so glad you said that. What is a balloon?
A rubber fucking
piece of rubber or a piece of plastic in some cases that can be filled with air.
Yeah.
To a certain shape.
Yeah.
This is a piece of plastic, or bottles can also be rubber, that is filled with air to maintain a certain shape. Still not a fucking balloon.
Yeah, because the purpose of that is to hold water and to drink out of. You don't hold water and drink out of a balloon. Balloon is decorative.
Again, nuance, context.
Where a show is like, don't you fucking talk about balloons when I'm here.
All right, what else we got?
Samuel Jackson says that he makes popcorn movies. He doesn't go for Oscar-winning roles. He said he makes movies that he thinks he will like.
You know, I don't think that's necessarily true. Because I don't know anybody who was eating popcorn during Pulp Fiction. I don't know anybody who was eating popcorn or acting like it was a popcorn movie during Django Unchained. Nor the 18-hour Hateful Eight.
I mean, I hear you. Speaking of Hateful Eight, Harrison Ford has been in talks to play Carl from the live action, the movie The Up.
Why? I mean, he's perfect for it, to be honest. But why are we Yo, guys, Hollywood. Write new fucking movies. Because I'm sorry. I was with the writers, man. Right? Writers need to get paid what they want. Right? Or not what they want, what they're deserving of. The visual effects artists are overworked, underpaid. They should be better. Stunt performers, they should be better. Right? They should be treated better. All these people. But if you're telling me that in the land of fucking creativity, with all these writers who fought to get what they deserve, not one of them can come up with a fucking script for something new. The only ideas you have are, hey, you remember the movie from 10 years ago? Let's do that again. But this time, no CG. This is just put real people in it.
And my favorite shit is you're gonna remake it to still be the kiddie shit. If you're gonna do a live action Up, why wouldn't you grow it up a little bit? Because the people who watch Up growing up were fucking a little bit younger than me. They were like Ray. You know what I'm saying? Like Buzz Lightyear. I grew up watching Buzz Lightyear, fucking Toy Story 1. Don't make that shit for these fucking kids now. Make that shit for me.
like X-Men 97. It grew up with us.
Yeah. Shit, fucking Incredibles 2. Fucking kids ain't see that shit. They ain't grow up with these motherfuckers.
Yo,
they don't know where Ozone's super suit is.
Where's my super suit? Yo, here's my pitch to you, Hollywood. Fuck just redoing Up. How about you make a movie? How about you make a movie about a man who lost the love of his life, right? Who's never had any children, who's secluded or trying to be secluded. But the next door neighbors move in and they got a precocious little kid who won't leave him the fuck alone. Then one day that kid goes missing in the woods. The parents are fucking, freaking out. But because this old dude used to go out there all the time with his wife, he knows the woods. So he decides, fuck it, I'm going to go look for this kid. He finds the kid and they have a small adventure getting back home, where you can now mix the premise of Up with the premise of the Odyssey, where they get it's a story of being lost and finding your way back home and the difficulties of finding your way back home. And because it's a kid-centric movie, you can have it where the dog is narrating the story. That's where you get the talking dog from.
I mean, yo, let me give it to you this way.
Does that not sound more original?
Yeah. Let me give it to you this way, Cap. And I don't know if you saw the movie or not, but I'm gonna give it to you this way. We already have a live action Up. A live action grown realistic Up. You know what the name of that movie is?
Taken.
Gran Torino.
Gran Torino.
Feel lucky, punk. Yeah, with Clint Eastwood. He was there by himself. The neighbors moved in. They're Korean. The son was doing work on his house because he fucked shit up. The gangs was trying to get him. And he had to go fucking take him out of the gangs. And he sacrificed himself to go save this fucking kid, left him a car, and was teaching this kid how to be a man. It's the fucking updated adult version of Up.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. We have just told you in a span of what, 20 minutes? A brand new take on that idea. We just told you that there was already a live action adult version of that idea. Because, every story has already been told. But we've already given you two fucking different, unique twists on how you can do this without just going, hey, let's just do Up again, but add shit that doesn't make sense. Leave out shit that everybody loves. And let's fuck up this whole franchise.
Word.
Yo, just make something new. It can't be nostalgia if that's the only thing we do.
And the crazy shit is, like, people like, yo, you guys from the fucking 90s and all you are is about nostalgia. No, we not. Y'all motherfuckers about nostalgia. Y'all motherfuckers want to redo all the shit we did because the shit we did was fucking masterpieces.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, y'all want to redo the fucking Aladdin. That shit was a masterpiece. You want to do fucking Cinderella, already a masterpiece. You want to do fucking Little Mermaid, already a fucking masterpiece. You want to redo fucking The Wizard of Oz, already a masterpiece. You want to redo fucking Oz, the fucking the play, Wicked, already a fucking masterpiece. Like, what the fuck? You ain't got no ideas. You can't come to the table with ideas. You just gonna shoot threes.
Yo, and this whole fucking talk, you guys from the 90s are only about nostalgia. What the fuck are you talking about? If you grew up in the 90s, you grew up with everything from 1980 to 2000. Everything in that time span was yours. That was what you were brought up on.
Yep.
Whether your uncle or your parents showing you old movies from the 80s, you know, you living through the fucking 90s and the 2000s. That's not nostalgia for us. That's what we fucking grew up on.
Shit.
And now when we're here, it's only brought up nostalgic because you fucking Hollywood refuses to do anything new. And I'm gonna fucking say it because you know me. I don't like fandoms, right?
Yeah.
The audience refuses something new.
Yeah.
If you put right now, what's the worst? Let's see. Thunderbolts, everybody said was pretty good.
Ant-Man Quantumania.
There you go. You put Ant-Man Quantumania and you put Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Right? You put them in the theater for the first time. Right? Nobody's ever seen them before. They're going to be in the movie theaters. Right? And then you throw Sinners up there for the first time. Do you think Sinners does as well as it did now? Sinners is a smash hit, but it had no competition while in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then Thunderbolts came in, and it's, you know, the Marvel fatigue has hit Thunderbolts. But it's quickly losing out to Lilo and Stitch and to Mission Impossible and to all the other movies. Like, it's already did its run. But take Sinners and drop it in with Ant-Man Quantumania and another legacy title. And let's see if it would have fucking performed. Because I don't think it would have.
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me?
Hmm?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. For some reason, the shit wasn't.
Only when you speak.
All right, cool. Yeah. It wouldn't have had an initial run, but look at Terrifier. Terrifier was a new take on fucking a genre that's been around forever. And people fucking ran to that shit. Like, there's a fucking whole, it's a cult classic now.
Yes. But each movie still didn't. The only reason each movie was a massive success
Because his budget was low.
is because he made it with $10. So any money it made. I think the part 3 was made for like maybe, I think $15 million for that movie, which was the highest budget of the 3. Which means if it opens up at $20 million, $20 million is nothing in today's box office, right? But if your movie opens at $20 million and you only made it for 15, you've already made $5 million. Bam, right out the gate. We didn't even get to week 2, 3, 4, 5, however long it's in the theaters. We're not even talking about fucking overseas gross if it has an international release.
And the DVD commentary.
Yeah. So you gotta take that
No, but
success with a grain of salt because it's popular, but it's not like a world beater.
yeah, but you also gotta remember, it's like people nowadays, it's fucking $14 a ticket to go to watch a movie. Like, yeah, Terrifier was one of those movies that's like, yo, that shit was a guilty pleasure to go watch. But if we had to choose that or something else, if we had the money, we waiting for that motherfucker to come out on Amazon or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I'll tell you right now, the position I'm in, I'm waiting for Ballerina to come out on streaming. I'm waiting for Sinners to come out on streaming. I'm waiting for Karate Kid, Legends of Kung Fu to come out on streaming.
I hate shit. That's the fucking biggest problem with movies. Like, you have to pick and choose before you could go there, fucking $5 movie ticket, $7 movie ticket, go watch some shit. You had your popcorn. It was a night out. It was what Gorilla Monsoon would call a happening. Now that shit's a fucking bill.
Yeah. And on top of that, when you go, you got that stupid express line, right? That gets full because a lot of people use the express shit. Then you got the regular line that gets full because of everybody who's not using it. And you still got only 1 to 2 people back there taking their sweet ass time. Everything's fucking slowed down. And God forbid, the lady who's with the express lane is dealing with somebody. The regular lane then calls over the express lane, then delays you even more. Because you got to take care of the express people first.
Shit. And to top it off, if your movie starts at 11, you're not watching the movie until 11:30.
Oh, I'm honestly surprised that the last 2 movies we went to go see, you didn't fall asleep as soon as you sat down and just all through the coming attractions and everything else and just missed the first half of the movie.
Shit.
You tend to miss more of the middle.
Yeah, right? Shit, man. Carl Lambry made a statement about people not accepting Anthony Mackie as Captain America. And he goes, and I quote, "It runs the continuum from madness to silliness to be as obsessed as this republic continues to be about denying the truth that makes all of us brothers and sisters."
Yeah, I see what he's saying. They're not recognizing that.
Is it a color thing?
That's what he's trying to say, that, yo, y'all making a color thing, but no matter what color we are, we're all brothers and sisters.
Yeah, because if you look at Sam, yes, there is the moments of him talking to the African American experience. But for the most part, he's acting in accordance to Captain America, to all of us. When he went to go stop the Red Hulk, or not the Red Hulk at the time, but when he went to go stop Thunderbolt, he didn't go on the American side and be like, yo, we got to get them to stop. He just went and saved the Japanese. He's like, yo, fuck it. The easiest way to get this done is to be on their side, showing them that I'm here to protect everyone. So they're failing to see that he's representing everybody when he puts those colors on, not just a certain sect of people that you happen to fucking, for some reason or another, been told to not like or grew up not like or whatever fucking idiotic shit they have in their head.
Can I look at it from another point of view? Would we be okay if the next Superman was black?
I mean, there's already a black Superman in the comics. But, I mean, here's the thing, right?
Superman's an alien.
Superman.
Or Mexican thing.
Superman is one of the rare superheroes, right? That should not be tied to a white dude with blue eyes. Because Superman represents more than that. I mean, like Toe said, he's an alien from another world who crash lands here on Earth and just randomly happened to find Martha and Jonathan Kent and be brought up the way he was. Anybody could be put in that situation. That's not a particularly white guy with blue eyes experience. Right? Spider-Man, raised by a single woman. His father figure died. They literally, Stan Lee literally said he put the full face mask because anybody could be behind that mask. Because everybody can have that lived experience. So that's not so tied to the person who's wearing the mask. Right? The only reason, so Captain America, the mantle of Captain America can be held and should be held by anybody. Anybody who deserves, like Thor's hammer, anybody who deserves the shield. Because America's supposed to be the land of opportunity. Bring me your hungry, your weak, your huddled masses yearning to be free. That's what it says on the big fucking bronze lady out in the fucking harbor out here in between Jersey and New York. So the concept of Captain America should be for everybody and anybody. The only thing I would say that would take umbrage is Steve Rogers. That specific character needs to be who he is because of the time that he's from and the way the world works where he's from and his ability to see past all that bullshit and to stand up to what's right regardless. That is a more integral part of him. Like, if you know history, it would have never, I mean, just look at what they did to Isaiah during World War II. Like, he also had the super soldier serum, but his experience is vastly fucking different. So that's why Steve Rogers should only be how he's depicted. But the mantle of Captain America is bigger than Steve Rogers.
It's like the president.
Yeah.
Anybody could be the president.
Anybody can be the president. You could put a movie and make anybody the fucking president. But you can't make Denzel Washington John F. Kennedy.
Yeah. Because the thing with comic books, it's more of the story and the lessons that you learn from them. Now, granted, back in the day, it's a bunch of white people that are depicted as the heroes because those are the people who were writing this. But like Cap said, fucking Spider-Man was covered head to toe. Anybody can imagine themselves in a suit. Superman is an alien. Captain Marvel is a wizard that comes and possesses the person. You know what I'm saying? Shazam. You know, Wonder Woman is an Amazon. That's from another country like Greece or some shit. So she's not American fully. But then you have Black Panther that okay, here goes the gap we gotta fill. The Blue Beetle, here goes the gap we gotta fill. The Moor, here goes the gap we gotta fill. You know what I'm saying? Like they have those where it's like, okay, we need people to represent these people. Now, here you go. The mutants. The X-Men. It don't matter what color they are because they're mutants, so they all niggas. Pretty much. When the X-Men came out, that was a depiction of racism in America. Magneto was Malcolm X. Professor X was Martin Luther King. Now, the way shit works, the X-Men can still be considered LGBTQ because that's the fucking group of people that's being ridiculed now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a group of people that are different, that just want to live their lives normally, but they're getting beat, they're getting detained, they're getting tested, they're getting all this shit on because they're different. And anybody can relate to someone who's different. Like the one of the most famous fucking heroes in Marvel is Wolverine. He's a Canadian that was made to fight the Hulk. There's nobody going, shit, Wolverine should be black, Wolverine should be this. They like him because of who he is and what he represents. Real people who read the comics or read the books, they love what this character represents. Like 007. They love what the people in the book, what that character represents. The shit, the way that they relate to them. The movies, the way that Chris Bronson played the character, but there was like 25 different 007s. And anybody could be 007. You know, it's just the way that you make the character grow. But like Cap says, the problem people have is that most people don't realize that Falcon was the Captain America in the comics. So they think that the Marvel is just pushing that shit down our throat. I think that's the issue. People don't realize that. And when they hear he was Captain America in the comics, some people go, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Or they say, I don't give a shit. I want, Chris Evans. Or then they go, oh, but this actor isn't really blah, 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 blah. Bro, here's the thing. If you relate to Captain America, then you should be able to relate to Anthony Mackie's character because he stands on the same morals as Chris Evans. It's like watching a Muhammad Ali fight and then going, Roy Jones Jr. was very similar to Muhammad Ali, but I liked how Roy Jones is a little bit more showy and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you like those power guys like Tyson. I like the way Tyson fought. So now you're a fan of Wilder because he just knocks people out. You may not be the biggest boxing historian, aficionado, but because of those little things, you connect with them. But now in certain cases, imagine you got Tyson, Ali, Roy Jones, and then fucking Vladimir Klitschko comes in here and he's knocking people out. And people are like, yo, fuck him. He's not these guys. Why? What's different?
That shit. Not more dad on that one.
But that's the thing with boxing. I mean, with comics, movies, TV shows, wrestling. People connect with their people in all different types of ways. Like, people sometimes they hold on too much. They grasp too much of a character, and they don't want to let it go. They don't want to adapt with shit. But like I told Ray, I was like, yo, the evidence is in the fucking cake. Every single wrestler or every single actor has moved on from a role and got replaced by someone. You like Marvel, right? You like the character Chris Evans played as Steve Rogers. Guess what? No one is playing Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is gone. Now you have to realize that the next person in line is Anthony Mackie. He may not be your Hogan. He may not be your Austin, but he's there. And if you're a fan of the MCU or the comic books, you gotta bear with it and attach yourself to someone else. Because we got Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doom. We got possibly the X-Men coming back, or the X-Men coming very soon. There's still superheroes that we know about, like Chris Hemsworth and the Hulk, Spider-Man. There's other people attach yourself to. That's the beautiful thing about life. The connections that you make will always break. They'll always disappear. But the beautiful thing is there's another one coming. that you could connect yourself in a different way. Because if you don't grow, like who said it? I think it was Muhammad Ali or somebody said this quote: "If you have the same worldviews when you were 20 years old, now that you're 50, you wasted 30 years of your life." You got to be able to grow with the times. You got to be able to sit there and and accept the fact that there's fucked up things in this world. There's people taking advantage of shit in this world, and you're worried about the nuance of something that's not really important because they didn't delete these movies. You can always go back and watch Chris Evans and all 20 years of him playing Captain America. But you if you're that much of a Captain America fan and you stand on business, you're letting this president do what the fuck he wants and ICE do what the fuck they want with the immigrants that made this country. You know, there was a group of people that Captain America, Steve Rogers, fought in World War II. The Nazis. Sounds very similar to what the fuck's happening in this country right now, I don't. But we're not gonna get into that because that's the Toe in the Show subject, or that's a private conversation. But a little good news for Joe and Cap. Mortal Kombat 2. Their test audiences cheered and jumped out of their seats the same way that they did in Endgame.
Okay, I heard the opposite in Endgame. I heard people test screenings were not too high on it.
It just says Mortal Kombat made test audience cheer and jump out of their seats like Endgame. Says its writer.
Hey, I will say this again. Tom Cruise said the Flash solo movie was one of the greatest assets to fucking cinema, and he was wrong.
Yeah, he said the fights, the fatalities, the surprises, the deaths. I think we nailed it.
Yeah, they nailed it in the first one. The issue with the first Mortal Kombat movie was not the fights, the fatalities, and all the references to the video game. That was not the issue with the first one.
Yeah, the first one was that character that you fucking. That was kind of stupid. All he did was turn gold. Like we had Jax already.
Yeah, like Jax got metal arms that replaced his no longer there arms. Kano got the fucking laser eye. Kung Lao got control over his fucking hat. Liu Kang became fucking fire dragon guy. And this dude just got a fucking sweater. A gold sweater that is apparently made of vibranium that can take exorbitant packs and redirect it when it overloads.
Yeah, fucking Rock 1996 Versace gold sweater.
But I want to see a trailer.
I don't know if they made one yet, did they?
No. Trust me, if they did, I would have seen it by now.
Okay. One of the other news is that a female Iron Fist will reportedly appear in Eyes of Wakanda.
I hope it's Jessica Hedwig.
The woman who played the female Iron Fist in season 2.
Yes.
She was good, yeah. In other news, Jeremy Allen, the guy who played Kerry Von Erich in Iron Claw, the Texas Tornado.
Yeah.
Jeremy Allen White is reportedly being eyed for a movie role, for a Marvel role. And the picture they had behind him is Wolverine. And I'm saying maybe Havoc or Captain America. I mean, Cyclops.
Now, I think you saw Iron Claw. They did every camera trick in the book to make him look like 6'2".
Yeah.
But he's not. I think you know him in Shameless.
Yeah.
I think he can pull it off. I think he's got. If they lean into more of the Logan that has that I don't give a fuck attitude, I think he could definitely pull it off.
Okay.
And we know he can get the size down. Because he might not have been 6'2" for Kerry Von Erich, but he definitely put on the fucking musculature.
Yeah. That's it for the news.
Oh, you know who I want as Beast in this new? If we're not gonna keep Kelsey Grammer, right? If they're gonna do a whole new cast, you know who I think should play Beast? Because Beast is really gonna be just a CGI blue guy, right?
Yeah.
The dude who played Sheldon in Big Bang Theory.
Because of his intelligence?
Yeah, because of his ability to act with that amount of intelligence. Because I've seen him in other things, so he can do more than just that awkward, I don't know social cues bullshit. But where, you know how Kelsey Grammer, when he was Beast, you're like, okay, he sounds smart as shit.
Yeah.
Jim Parsons, there you go. He sounds smart as shit. Jim Parsons also, I mean, he played Sheldon. We know he can sound smart as shit. And you need somebody who's believable when they're saying this shit.
Shit. Yeah, that's it for the news. Now you want to get to you go shows like I did my part. He did all that research on Baine and Rhino. You want to get?
I had this motherfucker's the pronunciation down right before we started, and then we got into all this shit, and now I gotta look it up again.
Okay. Boyega.
All right, I think I got it. So you want to just break it down a little bit of who?
Yeah.
I mean, Baine's your guy, so I'll let you talk about Baine because I know you know him. So the Rhino, Marvel Comics villain, mostly associated with Spider-Man. His name, Alexei Stretchevic. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's Russian. Big, dumb, muscle-bound mob dude who, yeah. Alexei, that's what we're going to fucking call him. Big, dumb, muscle-bound mob dude for the Russian mob volunteered to gain superpowers. Right? They said that they were going to increase his strength, his speed, all that shit. What wound up happening, though, is they tricked him and they chemically bonded this suit onto him. Now, the suit gave him, and he made him damn near invincible. It is the equivalent of rhino hide, right? And it bonded and grafted to his skin and gave him the appearance of a rhino. That's how he became. And he's, for the most part, he's pissed off because they've essentially imprisoned him in this fucking thing. And there's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah.
Tell me how the fuck you would go around life if you're damn near invulnerable, super fucking strong, and you've been locked inside this fucking suit.
Shit, I mean, I heard that he battled with depression. His Setsovich, the help cap.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Alexei Setsovich.
Yeah, what's going on? Comics with Bueller. But yeah,
What's up, man?
You know, I heard he went through depression, and he wasn't the smartest person in the world. That's why they were able to take advantage of him, do those
For anybody who knows, he is like Zangief in the original Street Fighter movie from 1994.
Got paid.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
literally put that character in a fucking impenetrable suit that resembles a rhino, and boom, there you go.
Shit. I mean, so from what I understand, he can run very fast. He's invulnerable to bullets and all other stuff. He can keep up with the likes of the Hulk and other strong characters. And I heard that he actually teamed up with Shield because Shield told him that they would be able to remove that suit from him.
Yeah,
and they did. And then another rhino came and killed the woman that he actually fell in love with and married while he was outside the suit chilling. And then he put the suit back on.
There's different story arcs with him. There's even one story arc where they made him super intelligent, and he essentially just dominated everybody and became the kingpin. Like, there's literally a panel of him. I gotta see if I can find it, but there's literally a panel of him like looking out on the balcony in what looks to be like a white blazer. That after he took over the fucking criminal underworld.
Yeah.
But there was also another 2-part series with him and Spider-Man that I forget what the particulars are, but it's one of those 2-part series where it's like a very emotional thing where Spider-Man they're not really trying to fight each other. It's one of those things where he's like, shit, what's going on with you is deeper than just us trying to fight. Someone trying to fucking help you.
So, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're referencing the fact that he joined the Sinister Six so that one of the people there can create a clone of his wife that died. And they did. And he was living with the clone of the wife. And he actually saw that clone deteriorate in front of him. And when that happened, he went mad and started a rampage. And Spider-Man was trying to calm him down. And he's like, yo, if you're doing this because you're mad at, that your wife died, why don't you start acting like, the man that your wife wanted you to be? And then the Rhino like stopped and broke down and started, he actually teamed up with Spider-Man. And
that's another one. That's different than what I was talking about, but that's another. There's so much shit that they can pull from that it's saddening that when you get to the movies, they just put Paul Giamatti in a stupid CGI robot.
Yeah.
And then for Kraven, they turned him into some shit where he took like a serum and changed into the Rhino.
Yeah. But so Baine, as people may know, he's the son of Vigilante of what is it? Not Vigilantes. Rebels. Rebel? Are they rebels?
Yes.
Rebel war. Yeah. So
freedom fighters.
Freedom fighters. There you go. He's the son of freedom fighters, and his mother was pregnant with him. And when the country found them, they both died, but the baby was born, and they sentenced Baine as a baby to do the time of the parents in the jail. While he was growing up in jail, he was a vicious motherfucker. He just started killing people. Then he realized that if he wanted to survive, pretty much, he sounds like Kingpin. He had to become the strongest, the smartest, the fastest, and all that. So he was training every day. He was reading all the books that he could read in jail. He started becoming smartest. He conquered jail. He ran the jail like that was his own thing. And he heard about Batman. And he's like, yo, I'm out. So he wanted to break out. And the warden was like, I want you out this motherfucker too. So the warden volunteered him for an experiment for the venom. They injected him with the venom. They thought he died. They threw him in the lake. He came back to life, went back to the jail. and he used the warden to break everybody out. And then he broke out the rogue gallery of Batman, got Batman tired, broke Batman's back. So the thing with Baine is that he's also considered super powerful without the venom. Like he's on like metahuman. Like he's very close to like a metahuman in strength without the venom. The venom just boosts that up. And it also boosts up his intelligence. And I think that right there is what would give Rhino a run for his money, because we have someone who's super strong, super smart, who outsmarted Batman, facing someone who could take a very high pain tolerance. He can go full out. I think they said for 24 hours without getting tired. The Rhino. So it's intelligence and power versus stamina and strength. Is there's no real intelligence with the Rhino. He might be able to outsmart the Rhino.
So it depends on how you want to do this battle, right? Because if you go, hey, everything the Rhino has, everything Baine has, I think Baine has the upper hand because of the intelligence, as you said, right?
Yeah.
But if you go and lock them in a room where your intelligence only counts in terms of fighting and not strategizing, other shit and making other plans, but your intelligence is purely, all right, it's only me and him. We got to stop it. We got to, come to blows here. Does an intelligent fighter take out somebody who is damn near invulnerable, is too stupid to give a shit, and is not going to stop? And I say that because let's just say, right? Baine is able to get him in some sort of submission, snap his arm. That's the intelligent thing to do, right?
Yeah.
The smart fighter took the dumbass and broke his arm. What do you do when you break the guy's arm and then he uses that arm to beat you with?
I mean, so I don't know, but there's also a Baine in the comics that can stand toe to toe with Azrael. And according to Nightwing, Azrael is a better fighter than anyone in the Bat family.
Well, so Azrael is a better fighter purely because of what I just said with Rhino. He's a zealot. He believes like religiously in the message that he thought Batman was putting forward. So where Batman would come up and Batman would know to get to a certain point and not cross that line. And even at what do you call it, with Jason Todd. So like Batman's line's here, Jason Todd's line passes him slightly. Azrael says, for the righteousness of the cause, there is no line. So again, as a thug in Gotham, you got Batman, who will only go so far. You got Nightwing, who is not going to go as far as Batman. And then Azrael shows up. Fuck you do. What are you going to do with the guy who doesn't believe he's gone far enough?
Yeah.
So this is what makes this fight interesting, because it is somebody who is strong and intelligent and all that versus somebody who doesn't know enough to stop. Like that's an interesting, because again, what do you do with the guy who doesn't fucking stop? And it's not like he could pick him up and break his back like he does Batman. It's not like he could stab him or shoot him or...
Yeah. But I mean, I know this isn't in the comics, but didn't Thanos have that similar issue with the Hulk?
No, see, the Hulk, he didn't, because the Hulk always has that banner switch. Right? If you... I mean, you saw it in the movie, but essentially, if you can do enough mental damage to the Hulk to affect Banner, you've stopped the Hulk. Alexi doesn't have that. He's not going to get punched in the face and go, "No, Alexi, it's you. I can't come out and play because this motherfucker's too strong." Like, so I'm just saying, I don't think there's a clear cut, or the winner is as clear cut.
Well, also, from what I understand, this may not be the original Bane, but there was a Bane that had the Nif metal. The same shit that Hawkman had.
Okay, yeah, the shit his wings and his mace is made out of.
Yeah. It's apparently the Joker gave him that metal. And that metal can heal you no matter who, what damage you took and all that. So if he has that, wouldn't this be a similar fucking stalemate pretty much, or?
I mean, it's pretty much a stalemate now. So yeah, it could be a fucking deadlock. But if you look at it, speed wise, Rhino's got the speed. Power wise, you just said Rhino could stand up to the Hulk. Rhino's got the power.
Yeah, but Bane also has a metahuman power, so
yeah, but I mean, Baine can't go toe to toe with the Hulk. So endurance, you just said Rhino can go 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
Baine doesn't have that type of endurance. Intelligence. Finally, we get to something Baine is better at. What else is there? The overall fear factor. That's a draw. None of them are going to be afraid of the other. So now the question I pose to you is, how much does the intelligence outweigh all the other shit?
Here's the thing, though, because Bane isn't intelligent as like a doctor or what. He got intelligent in jail. This motherfucker's a survivor. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between like Steve.
Strange intelligence.
Yeah. I was thinking of Mr. Fantastic. I forgot what the
Reed
fuck
Richards.
is. Yeah, Reed Richards. So you also got to remember that shit. Apparently, Rhino gets defeated easily by the Hulk and puts him in a coma. The Hulk puts him in a coma. But they said that Bane can lift up to 15 tons. I'm trying to figure out how strong Rhino is.
Rhino is? I got you right now.
Forgive me, everybody. I'm suffering through fucked up cough and a stuffy nose and all that shit. So if it sounds crazy, it's show's fault.
Okay, so Rhino possesses superhuman strength with the ability to lift 75 tons. Let's see. He can lift 75 tons. He's got dense skin that can withstand attacks from a law gun, which is a light anti-tank weapon. So he can withstand a hit from some shit that is made to destroy tanks. He can lift 75 tons and run up a max speed of 70 miles an hour. What'd you say Baine can do? 15 tons?
So he's 5 times stronger than Baine.
Yeah. And definitely fucking faster, because I don't think Baine is speeding anywhere.
Yeah. Shit.
So again, you know what? This was your question, right? You're the progenitor of this entire thing. You set the stage. Where exactly are they for this battle? And then we'll determine who takes it home. And just to give you like an example, you could literally just plug the streets of Gotham.
I was thinking the streets of Gotham, but I was also thinking if we're gonna do this fucking shit, we're gonna do it right, and we're gonna go to Show's favorite place where Wong and the Abomination were fighting. They're over there. They're in the fucking arena. We got these motherfuckers. We paid them motherfuckers to fight. They're in the arena, ready to go, like Thor versus Hulk in World War Hulk.
Got you. So they are. They're in the gladiatorial arena.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, then again, Rhino's got the edge in almost every category, with the exception of the intelligence. Do you
Speaking
think?
about intelligence,
What happened?
I said, talking about intelligence, I had the perfect time. Thank you.
Do you think Baine's intelligence, with the surrounding of an arena, is enough to overcome what the Rhino can do? Sure, have you been listening this whole time?
No, my phone had died. I had to charge it a little bit before I got here.
All right, Joe. While Vin's thinking, let me put it to you this way, Joe. Here's the parameters we have between the Rhino and Baine. Strength, the Rhino wins. Speed, the Rhino wins. Endurance, the Rhino wins. Pure fear factor is a draw. Nobody's afraid of anybody.
Yeah.
Intelligence, Baine wins. Who do you think wins that fight, Joe?
Pretty simple, Rhino.
Now, let me put some flavor in you here. I'm on the page for Baine, and Baine is also known for his strategic and tactical expertise. In prison, Baine also invented his own form of calisthenics, meditation, and combat techniques. In early stories written by Chuck Dixon, Baine is depicted as a calm, centered warrior, drawing strength from meditation and the spiritual energy of the Pena Duro prison. Dixon imbued Baine with almost supernatural qualities and claiming that Baine triumphed in prison fights through these abilities, whereas his opponents were driven by rage and greed. This calmness allowed Baine to view time and space differently. Multiple scenes of vengeance of Baine explored this aspect when it explains that Baine's mastery of meditation techniques made time and space playthings to him. Baine's use of the venom drug enhances the physical abilities of his to superhuman levels, including strength and accelerated healing. In most versions of the character, Baine requires a specialized tank to control the amount of venom injected in his body. Baine had sworn off using venom in Vengeance of Baine 2. This continually has sometimes been depicted differently, with some adaptations showing Baine still wearing the venom equipment. Writer Gail Simmons addressed the inconsistency in Secret 6, explaining that Baine kept the device out of habit, despite his vows to never use it again. Once, on one occasion, he used the venom to save his comrade and daughter figure, Scandal Savage. So he can bend time and space, or he can see time and space differently.
All right. I heard what you said, and I took that in a different meaning.
He's Iron Fist.
No, I took that as in. You remember the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes?
Yes.
That first fight scene where he's going to throw the right uppercut, followed by the left hook, followed by this. And then you realize he just deduced it and then was able to fucking counteract it in real time?
Yeah.
To me, it reads like his meditation allows him the ability to super predict. I know he's angry, so I know this would be his first move. And if I did this, that would be his second move. And if I did that, that would be his thing. And he, kind of like Cap, where he throws the shield and he know how to throw it and where to throw it so it comes back. That's what that reads more to me like. Not that he can physically just bend space and time and that. He'd be unstoppable if he can fucking do that.
Not if he was fighting Goku.
Because Goku would go Super Saiyan time stop.
Yeah. No, but when it comes to straight raw power and viciousness and all that, Rhino, yeah, he's stronger, he's faster, he got more endurance. But it's kind of like a well-trained boxer
versus Kimbo Slice.
Shit. Kimbo Slice versus like a mixed martial artist, right? But the problem is the boxer's strong enough to throw the fucking mixed martial artist around.
Yeah,
so it's a different.
Again, like I've been saying, how much more do you value the intelligence over the raw power? Because I mean, outsmarting Alexei should be easy. So easy. Show can do it.
Yeah. And the only reason why Thanos and Thor were able to get the upper hand on Hulk is because they're almost as strong as he is. But like you said, they attacked his mind. So it made him quit more than... It made him not want to do it no more than anything. But Baine ain't nowhere near the strength of Rhino.
Yeah.
I guess we got to give this one to Rhino.
I'm convinced in the setting that you put him in the gladiatorial ring, I think you give the edge to Rhino because it doesn't matter how strategic you can be when the guy that you're fighting is too stupid to know that you're beating him.
Yeah.
All right? Now, let me throw a wrinkle in for you. Fuck the comics. We got 2 versions of Baine in the movies. 2 versions of the Rhino in the movies. The movie versions of Rhino versus Baine, who do you got?
Shit. Well,
if you want to give, I'll give you the rundown. One depiction of Baine is a massive hulking beast with the fucking venom in him. That is
the motherfucker from Double Dragon.
Yeah,
ugly.
He's akin to just having a dumbass Rhino running around.
And Paul Giamatti is just a fucking guy in a mech.
Paul Giamatti is just a dude in a fucking mech suit. Now we go to Christopher Nolan's Bane, who has the intelligence, who has power and all that shit and fighting ability versus a character in Kraven that he's got the height of a rhino. He's invincible. He survived the stampede. And then how'd they kill him? They just stabbed him in the stomach. They just stabbed him.
I think Baine would stab him.
Yeah, I think movie version, Baine wins all day.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So
shit, Simon from Die Hard 3 with a Vengeance would be Rhino.
Yeah. So here we go. We got comic book goes to Rhino with a slight edge. Movies goes to Baine by a mile. Animated. The animated version of Rhino versus the animated version of Baine. I'm talking about the 1994 Spider-Man Rhino because I think he might have actually been in some of the newer ones, but I haven't watched any of the newer ones because they came out while I was overseas or doing some other shit.
I think the animated Baine would win, but that's just because of those fucking cartoons just had Rhino just running at people. He didn't fight nobody. He just ran at them, tried to fucking gore them. And Baine is from Spain. He's a fucking Ole. And the only problem we had with Baine was when he fought Superman and Superman washed him.
Yeah.
And then the shit with that Harley Quinn shit on HBO, Baine is stupid.
Got that Rhino right there.
Yeah. I would give it to Baine, the animated.
Now, if it is the Harley Quinn version, I'd give it to the Rhino. He got my name wrong on the cup. I'm gonna blow up that Starbucks.
Yeah. Explosion. But Joe, who you giving it to? Ain't no Rhino. That
Always
good, huh?
glad to hear from you.
Word. The insight this man has, second to none.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't said it better myself.
Word. So, the next verses, I picked this one. We'll give Cap the chance to pick the next one. Who you got, Cap? Or you want to think about it?
Give me time to think because I think I pitched one to you Sunday, but I don't remember what the fuck it was.
Word.
So, give me time to think.
Definitely.
Tune in. It'll be announced somewhere. Somewhere we'll show what the fuck's going on. And if not, just fucking be surprised, man. It's spontaneous. Live life.
Yeah.
Show up next week and just what's going on here? Boom.
Like,
you don't know what was going on. Now we're saving lives. We were in a blender. Now we're saving lives.
Word. So like, subscribe, and do all that other shit. Tomorrow we'll be back with Knucklehead Sports. Thursday, we will be reviewing Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide. Also talking about Ron the Truth Killings is back. And the decision to have Jey Uso lose the World Heavyweight Championship. And I believe on Saturday we're going to do the Toe in the Show because me and Cap have plans on Friday night. So, show if you're listening, Saturday.
And show if you're not listening, it's still Saturday.
Yeah. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure to have you here. Tune in tomorrow. Like, subscribe, all that other shit. It's your friendly neighborhood Knuckleheads signing out. Peace, everybody.